This week in the Gospel of John 14 says something very beautiful. It's something that I really had to grow into in my journey in faith. Jesus says, "The Father who dwells in me is doing his works. Believe me that I am in the Father and the Father is in me." I want you to meditate on that for a minute, because I often find that it's very difficult for people to accept the reality that maybe God is doing beautiful work in them. Not through them or for them, but actually in them. I find that when one begins to accept that work, God is doing good work in me, beautiful work in me, for me. I experienced in my own life a real encounter with Jesus Christ. I wasn't just a messenger. I wasn't just a channel or an instrument. That I was actually the one for whom God called and God desired to give his love and his grace. It's hard because whatever your past is, there's a little voice in the back of your head that says, well, you don't deserve this. Or he wants to not really give you everything. Or more than that, if he gives you that, there's a hook, or the other shoe's going to drop, or whatever it may be. You know, if I can encourage you that parents sometimes give to children, sometimes are rotten children at times. The parents give freely and lovingly, maybe not in an effort to win the child back, but in an effort to tell the child, you know what, you're loved. You're my son, you're my daughter. And I want you to know that I want you to receive this, just you. Can I ask you sometime this week to think about some of the good work that God is doing in you? But to do so in a manner in which you are the recipient, not in another person's life. Oh, it's great that it's for Sally. It's great that it's for so-and-so. But that's an act of denial. That's an act of rejection. And it's sort of an abandonment of the Lord by you. One of the tougher parts of my journey was to accept the fact that God was doing this in me, for me. And then that that the Lord and I would do it together in other people's lives. I didn't want to do that exactly, because then it had to become a relational act. I had to be in relationship with the Lord, and, well, I was just going to keep him at a distance. Because a lot of my relationships in the past were, well, some of them were poor at best. But with God's grace, I began to open my heart and began to be trusting that he wanted to do this in me and for me. I'll tell you, folks, everything changed. I'll just close with another thought. I often ask folks, so why is God doing this work in you? Well, he wants me to be a better mom, or he wants me to be a better son. And I don't think that's the answer. It's subtle denial again. I think God just wants to do these things in us because God wants to do them in us. And that's because he's a loving Father. It's more than a sermon. It's more than a thought. This is the reality of God's love for each of us. God bless you.